So welcome to our third inner gardening workshop, Beauty in My Garden. So perhaps you've been finding the time and motivation since last time to be in your inner garden, or perhaps it has felt difficult and perhaps it has felt like too much effort. But I think it's good to remember that your garden is always there even if you don't go there. And to know that whenever I return to it, something is waiting for me there, very patiently, something like a loving, appreciative presence, which is my inner sun. Always pleased to see me back in my garden, however long it has been. So be encouraged. So in this series of workshops, we've been acquiring some tools. Some may be new to you, some may be old, but maybe they need a bit of a polish. And these tools are all very light. And the good thing is that all these tools are very portable as well. So we've been planting seeds of courage by exploring how I can work with my breath when I'm in a challenging or stressful situation, by breathing very deeply and thereby grounding and anchoring myself in my inner ground. We've been practicing cultivating inner peace by combining the breath with a verse or a poem or a prayer or even a supportive statement for yourself, and really breathing in the meaning of each word and really allow the content to reach each cell in my body, nourishing and supporting me. Another tool in our box is singing, and just again exploring how it can really aerate the soil and really bring lightness and life to my inner garden. So these tools, they may seem quite small or even insignificant, but my experience really is that they are power tools if I put them to use. And I think the power tool of our time is my ability or my willingness to cultivate this inner calm and peace, to meet the happenings in our time with clarity, with courage, and also with common sense. So these are the tools we've got so far in our toolbox, and hopefully you're finding ways to putting them into practice in your life. And today's workshop is about beauty in my garden. And for me, I feel that beauty is really medicine for my soul, for my inner soil. And I always think of beauty as medicine for free. And it's actually quite unimaginable or even unbearable to think that there would be a world without beauty. Which makes me think about, what is it about beauty that it enriches my life so much? And how can I really attune myself to perceiving beauty? To be open to it, to let it really nourish me and restore my inner balance. I'm thinking now less about the more conditioned ideas of beauty, but perhaps more of the beauty in nature, which is so generous and abundant at the moment. But also the beauty in the little things and the beauty in the unexpected. Perhaps you found beauty in an encounter that you had with a child or with a stranger, maybe even with a bird or with a cat, or maybe a daisy growing through a concrete crack. Or maybe you can still see beauty in a wilting flower, in a wilting tulip or a rose. So there is a sense that beauty lies in waiting all around me very silently, not demanding or expecting anything, but waiting to be seen, not for its own sake, but in order to enrich my day and to serve me in my tasks. So beauty can really generate a sense of wonder. And the feeling of wonder really opens something in me, and I feel something greater, something much deeper, something wiser. Sometimes a sense there is a whole world order behind the complexity of a little flower. And also I've experienced that beauty can give me a sense of truth that can support and really strengthen my own inner sense of truth. And probably it's true that beauty perhaps can never really be defined, but it calls me to awaken. It calls me to wonder. It calls me to surprise. So in a way, it's a call for growth. It calls me towards wider horizons and perhaps to break out of my conditioned thinking and perceptions. So it's kind of a transforming presence in the world that works in me almost without me realizing it, with gentleness and with grace. So allowing beauty to touch me is absolute compost for my seeds of courage. And beauty gives me courage, and courage in turn is the ground that I need to have hope. And in these times we really need an abundance of hope and courage, both for ourselves but also for the future and for others. So the new tool in our toolbox this week is looking at the world through the eyes of beauty. And I have this ribbon here, it's got some little golden stars on it, and looking at the world through the eyes of beauty, I'm imagining it's like a different lens, almost like a filter through which I look at life and the world. And the practice is really learning to tune myself to beauty. We don't have a garden fork in our inner garden, but we have an inner tuning fork to align myself with beauty. So how do I do this? So the guidance for this practice, looking at the world through the eyes of beauty, has come from a plant that we all know very well. It's the dandelion plant. And the steps for aligning myself with beauty are as follows. So the leaf has inspired the practice of slowing down and noticing what seems ordinary. So walking slower, taking your time to look at things, and perhaps looking for beauty in little things and in the unexpected. So that is step 1, slowing down. Step 2 is inspired by the blossom of the dandelion. And step 2 is open yourself to beauty. Open yourself like this flower, which in fact looks like a little sun. Open yourself to beauty and let it touch you. And when you feel yourself being touched, really breathe it in, because your breath is the doorway to the richness that can be discovered in all things. And the third inspiration, the third step, the third guidance comes from the stalk of the dandelion. And the flower has closed now, and is in a very different stage. And the stalk gives the instruction, become an observer. Become an observer without judgment or criticism. So practicing observation without judgment is the third step. And the fourth guideline is keep a notebook. I've got a nice little one here that says, take your time, notes and thoughts. So it can be a real notebook or just a mental one. And take a few moments at the end of the day and reflect on, how has beauty touched me today? How has beauty surprised me? Perhaps you discovered it in something really unexpected. And perhaps, what message did my experience bring me? So do take notes. Perhaps you're inspired even to write a poem or a song, and allow yourself the explorations with beauty. And with that, I wish you a beautiful week. Until next time. To wonder at beauty, stand guard over truth, look up to the noble, resolve on the good. This leadeth us truly to purpose in living, to right in our doing, to peace in our feeling, to light in our thinking, and teaches us trust in the working of the highest guidance, in all that there is, in the width of the world, in the depth of the soul. Inch by inch and row by row, gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch and row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow, someone warm them